Can Saitama really beat Goku? Goku has been one of the strongest and easily the most influential character in all of anime, whether it comes to fitness, being a main character, or the iconic Super Saiyan and Ultra instincts. For the longest time, people, however their opinions may have been divided, agreed upon one fact: Goku is the strongest. Now, this statement wasn't really said or taken at face value because Goku isn't the strongest character even in his own universe. But the reason why people said and believed this was because of the ideology, the impact, and the sheer image Goku had built. For the longest time, Goku was the strongest with no match, not just in physical battles, but also as a character. And for most, he is, even now. But then, in 2016, this ideology was challenged for the first time. A fan animation video came out on YouTube, Saitama vs Goku. Right then, the manga of One Punch Man was also gaining a lot of traction, and then it began. Rumbling, rumbling, it's coming. One of the biggest debates in all of anime began. Can Saitama beat Goku? And today, we will be going over the same debate and analyzing some things which may get us to our answer. Can Saitama really beat Goku? Hello there people, it is me, your classic Indian scammer, back again, and today, you already know what we are going to be doing. Let's jump right into it. But real quick before we get into the video, let me just give you a little disclaimer. In this video, we are not just talking about raw strengths, we are going to be talking about everything. Abilities, use, feats, and actual fights. But we are not going to be taking a super serious and scientific turn by discussing the proper power levels and scaling and all of that stuff. This video is made solely for entertainment purpose because I myself was curious and wanted to do some research of my own. Personally, I find this debate super dumb and pointless, which is very hypocritical of me, I know, of course. But it's just like those are two very different characters who are happily protecting people in their universe. Why do we need to pit them against one another just for pointless arguments? But again, what I'm going to be talking about in this video is fairly my observation and pure unbiased analysis. I'm not going to be biased towards any single character and just will be critiquing both of them with a neutral eye. Also, I hate doing this, but YouTube tells me that really less percent of you guys are subscribed. So if you are brand new and if you enjoyed the video, please do consider subscribing. It really means a lot to me and it lets me know what sort of videos you guys are into. Now, without further ado, let's answer the question everyone's been wondering. Can Saitama... How many times... Now, it is kind of tough. Where do I start? Let's talk about the characters themselves. Goku is an alien, more specifically a Saiyan, a fighter race who have no ceiling for their limits. The more they fight, the stronger they get, and they can keep getting infinitely stronger. Meanwhile, Saitama is a human, and he has broken his limiter, which means his strength and his potential is also infinite. But Saitama's is a bit more open and explosive, one can say. Every battle Goku fights, he becomes stronger and stronger, and Saitama on the other hand has reached such a power level in his universe that it's almost impossible for him to get stronger. How his power works is, we saw a glimpse of it in the Garo battle. Oh yeah, it's a little late, but this video will contain manga spoilers for both One Punch Man and Dragon Ball. If you have not read either of those, I'm sorry, I'm going to be spoiling them a little. During the Garo fight, we see that while fighting Cosmic Garo, Saitama gets exponentially stronger after Genos's death. So strong that his punch and his impact could travel through the threads of time itself. During that time, his power expansion is showed. In comparison to Garo, whose power slowly increases in a diagonal pattern, Saitama's power just went up like a straight line, with seemingly no end. Goku on the other hand has two ways of getting stronger. Similar to Garo, it's either training or rage. When he died to Raditz and came back, his power level had already reached over 9,000 because of his training. And while fighting Frieza, when he kills Gurilin, Goku reaches the legendary Super Saiyan because of his extreme rage. Similar to Garo, every time Goku fights, his power level increases in a diagonal manner. But that doesn't mean he is inferior to Saitama. Now that we have talked about the basis of the characters and their powers, let's talk about something which Goku is obviously superior in: abilities. Now, this is unfair to begin with. Apart from having no limiter, Saitama is basically a human. Goku on the other hand has an arsenal of abilities. Super Saiyan in all its forms, Kamehameha, Instant Transmission, Kaioken, Sage Mode, Devil Fruit, Bankai, Stand. Goku has everything, and most important and useful, Ultra Instincts. With such a wide set of abilities, Goku has secured his space as one of the strongest anime characters of all time. But if you consider anything that humans cannot do as abilities, then even Saitama has a lot of abilities. The ability to jump to the moon and back without melting away, the ability to punch a meteor without getting crushed, the ability to obliterate almost anything in a single punch, and my favorite, the ability to do sidestep squats. Yes, even Saitama has amazing powers, but the sheer amount of abilities Goku has, I'm sure some of you must have forgotten the mind reading one too. But just because he has so many abilities, Goku is way superior when it comes to abilities. But just abilities does not make a character win battles. Let's talk about our next topic, feats. Now, Saitama has some really impressive feats. One-shotting a dragon level threat, blowing up an unbreakable ship in one shot, killing a probably god level threat in just 2 punches, and a dragon or higher level in one, jumping to the moon and back, punching so strong that it travels through time itself, defeating a very clearly god level threat and not taking a single ounce of damage while doing all of this. Saitama's feats are absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, I don't know if the covers of the manga are to be taken seriously or not and whether they are canon or not, but if so, then one of my absolute favorite feats, bench pressing 2 black holes. Absolute giga chad. But despite that, all of these just fall a little short of the absolute insane feats Goku has achieved. Let's start from the beginning. This kid learned one of the hardest techniques, which took Roshi 50 years to make, the Kamehameha, just by looking at it once. Then he went ahead and just as a kid, took down an entire fucking army with just a wooden pole. He killed one of the strongest beings just as a child, King Piccolo. He was offered the title of God of Earth, but he rejected it. He became the first Saiyan in ages to attain the legendary Super Saiyan, and he attained Super Saiyan 4 in the shortest time. A power level most, even from the OPM verse, can't even fathom. Goku gave an equal fight too, and sure, with the help of others, defeated one of the strongest entities to just ever exist, Pure Boo and Kid Boo. He fought on equal footing with literal perfection and gave up his life for his child and friends again. He fights and beats an entity capable of destroying literal universes, Omega Shenron, and fights both Gohan, who did not stop training, and Goten at the same time in base form while being a kid. Literally absorbs the power level of a Super Saiyan god, making his base form as strong as SSG. Instantly finds a way to overcome Hit's time skip by using Kaioken. Manages to overpower merged Zamasu, who is stronger than Goku Black by multiple folds. Becomes so strong that his base form is equal to Golden Frieza. And one of my personal favorite feats of all time, attains Ultra Instincts and masters it, or like sort of masters it, in just 48 minutes, and managing to beat Jiren, who rivals gods just in his base form, and even surpasses some in his Limit Breaker form. Goku's hairs also turn white because of UI, where most gods haven't even attained the base form while trying for millions of years. One of the most iconic Goku vs Broly fight in the original old movie is an absolute masterpiece. Literally and luckily brings himself back to life and revives Roshi, and had the upper hand against Angelic Moro, who could also use Ultra Instincts and was as strong as a trainee angel. Wow. That was a lot. Now, I know this sounded a lot in the favor of Goku, but those are just how many feats he has, and I also probably missed some. Saitama, on the other hand, I mean, sure, he did break the earth while playing rock, paper, scissors, but Goku is literally a universe level threat, so it's just unfortunate, but feats go to Goku. Another important point are the actual fights. Every single fight in which Saitama has been in after breaking his limiter has been absolutely one-sided, and there was just never a moment where Saitama was ever even remotely about to lose. Meanwhile, in every Goku fight, he either gets super injured or literally dies, but then comes back after training and obliterates the villain. Now, as a viewer, if I was living in any of those universes, you would of course be more in favor of Saitama because he just never loses. Meanwhile, Goku has died multiple times, so yes, in terms of fight, it definitely goes to Saitama. I mean, he is made to just not lose. So I think in terms of fights, it definitely goes to Saitama. I think at this point, we have covered all the important topics and aspects which will bring us to the answer. Who would win, Saitama or Goku? And looking at all our prior points, I think the answer is pretty simple. The answer is Saitama. Now, before you all come running at me and get ready to murder me, let me make one thing super clear. I love Goku way more than I love Saitama. Like, yes, Saitama is amazing and I love him. But what makes OPM super interesting and fun to watch is definitely the side characters like my GOAT. Meanwhile, Goku, he is the absolute GOAT. He is easily my favorite protagonist in all of shonen anime, given the fact that we consider Joe and Jonathan as Saiyan characters. I have been watching Dragon Ball ever since I was a kid and I love Goku. He is just the greatest. But facts don't care about our feelings. I mean, think about it. Saitama's literal name is One Punch Man. A man who can destroy anything in one punch. And if he can't, then what's the point? Here's what I'm saying. If Goku and Saitama were fighting on a super open field and if Saitama gets his hands on Goku, he wins. It's not even a question. Zero competition. But that doesn't mean that Goku loses, for the record. Goku is pretty much multi-universal level whatever. He can just use his ki to destroy the planet, leaving Saitama to float off in space and suffocate and die, while he uses instant transmission to live. I'm not saying that there is no chance that Goku wins. On a realistic scale, I'll say it's exactly 50-50 because of how smart Goku is when it comes to fights. But if you're talking about raw fighting strength and one-on-one battle, sorry Goku heads, Caped Baldy has this one. But again, if they were to actually fight, who knows what would happen? And for the millionth time, I am not biased. I love Goku way more than I love Saitama. But that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Today we answered one of the most debated questions in all of anime of all time. Can Saitama really beat Goku? And the answer is probably. That is all that I have for today. It was me, the greatest gamer of all time and the future king of this entire world, and I have brought you the answer to your question, sort of. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give the video a like, maybe even subscribe if you haven't already. It is still not set in concrete who would win if Goku and Saitama were really to go against each other in an all-out battle to the death fight, but it's pretty much a given that in a hand-to-hand battle, if Saitama can get his hands on Goku, he wins. Sorry once again to myself for finally facing the reality, but it just do be like that sometimes. Goku is amazing, but Saitama just crush. One click and I will do a complete uncensored review of everyone's favorite family-friendly anime Overflow, and subscribe if you enjoyed. However, we had less subscribers in the official One Piece English channel. Subscribe right now and let's crush them. If you want to know what the best indie story game of all time is, then click here. And if you want to watch me rant about some other anime and manga and stuff, then click here. That is all. Level up quick and don't be a dick. See you next time.